I'm Don Masura, and I was in the Army, U.S. Army, 1967 to 1970. I was not, assigned to Vietnam, but I was had a special assignment at stateside. I volunteered to be drafted. Not really, no. I was drafted, and that was the beginning of what it meant to be a college graduate in the military. It worked against you because you thought too much. And I had been what I was affectionately referred to as a ninth semester senior. I was coming back for my fifth year as an undergraduate just to get those last few hours. And I was drafted because certainly you lost your deferment. And I thought the military made a mistake, and I was going to do them a favor. And I went to my selective service board with my paperwork to let them know that I was doing a favor, let them know. I think the guy is still laughing. I think he's still laughing. He said, "No, you don't get it." But I was drafted. They gave me a chance to graduate. In the meantime, I had a chance to do what I wanted, and I volunteered. And I went to officer candidate school at Fort Benning, and I joined the military in the Army. I left as a first lieutenant. I had a special assignment. Even though I'd gone through infantry officer candidate school, I had the chance to get a branch transfer in the Adjutant General Corps, and went through all of that. And mainly because of Vietnam, as a brand new, shiny little lieutenant, I was assigned to Continental Army Command in Virginia, which is the command for all U.S.-based operations. And as a brand new lieutenant, I was assigned to a field grade position that's normally filled by an experienced major. And so I was asked to lift myself up, and these people were running the war. And I was working for the controller, and every Tuesday we would have our staff positions. There'd be the general, and I sat to his left, his assistant, which was a full colonel, and then four other full colonels that basically were discussing the issues of the war and the world every week. And the amazing thing was, as a little lieutenant, I had an equal footing at the table. And when they came to me, they recognized me for the job I was doing, and I had the full attention of these people for 2 years. And in that capacity, I was responsible for really, I think they would look at it today as being an executive officer. We had 100 senior civilian and military, and I was responsible for all the things that went on for the controller, to include security. So in the issues that are going on today, I could have told you very quickly what would have happened if somebody had violated a document. It's much different than what you hear on the 6 o'clock news. But it was the kind of experience where I had a top secret clearance, and this is when the King assassination and the Kennedy assassination, and I saw the war that was mobilized stateside. Everybody thinks of Vietnam and the other theaters that we were in. They don't realize what it's like when you mobilize stateside. And I was one of only 2 people that had authority to be in the command center, and it was frightening to see my hometown and all those other areas looked at as war zones or potential war zones. But I worked for the controller for 2 years and was his adjutant, and had a chance to really see the war about as close as you can get during a very pivotal time in our history. That was important to me because up until about 2 or 3 years ago, I didn't think I was a veteran. Even though I had 3 years of active duty during the Vietnam War, I thought veterans were people who were in combat. Anybody else, you were not a veteran. And so I did without veterans benefits that I could have used. I needed a lot of help I didn't ask for. And my fellow officer candidates at that time at a reunion, and they said, "Don, you don't understand. You swore to give your life. Whatever the military needed, you were there to say, 'I'm ready.' Some of us went to Vietnam and some of us didn't. And please," he said, "you're every bit of the veteran as everybody else." So I'm still look at myself as a veteran with a little bit of an asterisk, because I hear the stories of people who've went through so much. I don't think you can be in the military and not be affected. I don't want to take anything away from the people who've suffered from PTSD. I have thorough respect for that. But you don't go into a war and not be mentally affected. Whether it's 1 day or 10 years, you can't go through that experience and not be traumatized by what you smell, what you see, what you feel, what you experience. And one of the things that I walked away from that no one thinks about with the military is respect. You respect somebody's rank, you know exactly what to do. You respect the fact that somebody has served because you know what that means. You respect the life of everyone that you're responsible for, plus the extended people that you have a responsibility of serving with. And that part's never discussed about what it's like to be in the military. You know, that respect of, you know, we really do respect life because everybody looks at you out there too, and this is a cruel term, to be a murderer. And war isn't about murder. It's about a lot of other things. But that's a very separate arm of that. I don't know, your experience may or may not support that. Yeah. But I will tell you that the one time that I was moved to violence was when I was in a night program at Fort Benning. And we had dug a foxhole and we were doing this night operation. And I had saved my 2 Oreo cookies. And I had that in a special place in my foxhole. And when I came back from this patrol, my cookies were gone. And my buddy, I know it wasn't the squirrels that ate them. If I could have found him, he'd have been the first KIA that was there. Because don't you touch my cookies. You know, some things are very important. Something as small as 2 Oreo cookies you'll kill for. I'm a veteran, and I'm proud of not only being a veteran, but all veterans. And I think one of the things that's overlooked is that our culture does not really support people who brag about themselves. You know, it's your neighborhood. This is not something you do. It's okay if somebody beats you up for what you did wrong, or it's okay if you admit your mistakes, but if you start to talk unannounced about something you did well, people always say, hey, who do you think you are? And they'll bring you back real fast. And so I find that most people who are in the military don't talk because it's not supported in our culture. You know, unless you're asked, you don't talk. And most people don't ask, so it doesn't get discussed. But if I was to walk away with a final thought about the military, if I was in the military for 3 years, that guarantees you 9 years worth of stories. So just use that if you know math at all, just multiply it out. But my 3 years, if you could keep the cameras rolling, 9 years later, I'd probably run out of stories. But I do have the greatest respect for everyone who served in all the branches, because they do work together. And there might be some friendly competition, but you're heartfelt for everyone. And the people you're fighting for, I found, is something you get close, because that culture is more than just a place on a map. You know the people, you know how they feel. And I guess the thought that I have now is that, no, I did not have orders for you. I think I had orders, but they were rescinded for a couple of reasons. But all my buddies who did not go in the military are all planning these great vacations to Cambodia, to Laos, Vietnam. And I'm going, you guys are voluntarily going for a month. I could have had a free trip and I turned it down, you know. And now you're spending your retirement funds going to these places. So